John Blake presents Handle with Care, written by Rochelle Bugg and read by Sarah Ovens. This is for anyone who has cared, is caring, or will one day care for someone they love through a chronic or terminal illness. And for Mum and Dad. Look what your little girl did. Introduction. Peeling off my rubber gloves, I popped the Mr. Muscle back under the sink and gave a satisfied nod as I looked around the place I'd called home for the past 4 years. It had been a productive, albeit tiring, Saturday morning. The night before, after a hectic first week at my new job in London, I'd rushed straight from work to King's Cross Station. M&S gin in a tin in hand, I caught the train back up to Leeds, where I'd lived since finishing uni there, then woke up early to clear up my old flat. After scrubbing and polishing everything to Mrs. Hinch levels of perfection, I locked up for the last time, handed my keys back to the estate agent, and headed to my boyfriend Cunley's house, letting myself in with the spare key while he was still at work. Now for an afternoon nap, I thought to myself. To be honest, I needed it. Not only was I exhausted from my first week in a new job and cleaning out my old flat, but I still had to sit down with Conley tonight and finish talking about where things stood between us, now that I'd moved down south. I'd just signed the lease on a new place with my middle sister Hannah, who was 20 and in her second year of uni in London, but Cunley's career plans didn't look like they were going to bring him down to the big smoke with me, so it was time to make some decisions. Flopping onto the bed, I grabbed my phone to set an alarm, but as I did, it started ringing in my hands, its shrill tone almost causing me to toss it in the air. I looked at the screen. Olivia. It was my other sister, who, at 16 years old, was the youngest of us three. I rolled my eyes. What did she want this time? She lived at home with Mum in Ipswich, and was forever calling for help with her homework, as if I was her own personal Google. "Hi, Liv," I said flatly. "What's up?" Ro," she started, in a tone that caused me to sit bolt upright. Something was wrong. "Yeah, what is it?" I asked, slightly panicked. "Mum told me not to call you, but I'm worried," she replied. "She went to the doctor and they sent her to the hospital. They did some tests and said she's had a... Wait, I can't remember the long name. Let me check the leaflet they gave her. Okay, it says it's called a TIA, a transient ischemic attack, also known as a mini stroke. I'm upstairs in my room so she doesn't know I've called you. Is she okay?" I asked so quickly that I hardly gave her a chance to finish her sentence. "She said she's fine, but I went downstairs before and I think she's been crying," Olivia went on. I rambled for a few minutes trying to reassure her that everything would be okay, but I barely managed to convince myself. Then I hung up and, completely ignoring Olivia's pleas not to, called Mum straight away. "Mother, what's all this about you being an attention seeker today?" I asked in a pretend posh voice that I hoped would lighten the mood. "What's going on? Fancy going to perv on some hot doctors or something, did you?" I mocked, deciding that bad jokes were the best way to play it if I was going to get the full story out of her. "Ro, baby, I'm fine. It's not even anything," she said. "Do not worry about silly old me." "Yeah, but what did they say exactly, Mum? Do you need me to come home?" I asked, reeling off question after question. No, she insisted. "Go out for a nice meal tonight and have a glass of wine. Actually, have one for me as well. They've given me some tablets and told me to lay off the old vino for a bit." Then she paused. I don't get how it happened. I mean, a stroke," she stuttered. As the words tumbled out of her mouth and down the line to me, her voice cracked. Despite her being hundreds of miles away, I instinctively knew that her brow was furrowed and her lips were pressing down hard together in a feeble attempt to hold back the tears that were pricking at her eyes. In typical Mum style, she didn't want to cause a fuss, but I could tell that she needed me there with her, especially without Dad around. My mum, Shirley, and my dad, James, were true sweethearts, the ultimate team. They did everything together, from running several businesses to bringing us three girls up in a home filled with love and laughter.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?